On this week's Waste of the Week, some lawmakers say billions of taxpayer dollars meant to help Afghans have actually gone to fund the Taliban. Joining us this morning with what his organization has uncovered is CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski. Good morning to you, sir. Happy Friday. Since the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan 2 years ago, the U.S. has spent some $8 billion there. And last month, Special Inspector General to Afghanistan Reconstruction told Congress he could not guarantee that this money has not been funding the Taliban. So what are we doing?
Exactly. Yeah, this was shocking news, I think, to American taxpayers. Look, $8 billion over a 2-year period. I put that in comparison to federal money into the states pre-pandemic. And Jan, it would outrank 14 states on the receipt of federal money. And this is going back into Afghanistan. Where was the peace dividend? We were promised a peace dividend by the Biden administration when we left in a hasty withdrawal. We were doing $6 billion a year in aid into Afghanistan. Our research at OpenTheBooks.com at the time had uncovered that Afghan was the #1 recipient of U.S. foreign aid, outranking another 170 countries at the time. So where's the peace dividend? Where's the savings to the American taxpayer as we left in such haste?
And why are we continuing to send money if we cannot confirm it's actually going to humanitarian efforts?
Well, Afghanistan, Jan, has always been a black box. Take, for example, our anti-narcotics campaign since 2002 in Afghanistan. We spent $9 billion with no measurable results, and poppy sales were at an all-time high. And even the United Nations admitted that Afghanistan was a failed narco state. We spent $1 billion on a Respect Women campaign over 20 years in Afghanistan. And that is probably the least successful and biggest failure of a PR campaign in all of U.S. history.
$1 billion, that's outrageous. What process is in place to ensure our hard-earned taxpayer dollars are being used properly, especially when you just said it right there, in such a hostile situation there?
Well, I don't think we can put controls in Afghanistan on the use of U.S. taxpayer dollars. I want to give you an example of this. So when we were in Afghanistan, we provided to the Afghan National Army $174 million worth of drones for their security, for their protection. Those drones, Jan, were lost. Nobody knows where those drones went. They were probably monetized within the country to, feed the pockets of our allies. However, in the president's budget to Congress, in the years after the loss of those drones, were again hundreds of millions of dollars worth of scanning sophisticated drones back to Afghanistan. That's the way it works in Afghanistan. So we turned the Taliban into a major U.S. arms dealer for the next 10 years. There's no way to really see where our money is actually going.
So then, Adam, what happens if we stop sending aid?
Well, that's why I think the Biden administration is sending aid. They're trying to get it through to the Afghan people. There's about 100% poverty now because the Afghan economy has collapsed. And, there is virtually no rights in country for women. Women's rights have been obliterated, according to the Council on Foreign Relations. So look, it's a disaster over there, and they're trying to use billions of dollars in taxpayer money to help out, but there's no way that this is not going to the Taliban.
Yeah, and hopefully lawmakers right now are really looking at this when they're taking a look at the budget. Founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski, always great to see you.